Well, Jake, in Division I for 6A, the playoffs, area around, it's beginning to seem a lot like 2006 because Weslaco and United are getting together a week after Weslaco beat Harlingen by 3, just like they did in 06. Of course, it was 40-37.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, it's not quite the same. Yeah, yeah, it was probably, from what Eladio said to me on Saturday, it was not a very good game. I mean, to watch wise, it wasn't a very good game. I'm not talking about because of the outcome.
Right.
But 3-0, I mean, I don't know if anybody, it's a baseball game. That's a baseball game.
Yeah, or like a 1920s game or something.
Yeah.
Guy drop kicked in a field goal. Well, I'll tell you this. Weslaco won when they had 94 yards of offense. That's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Well, so now they move on. They're a very hot team. They got by this obstacle and they get United. This is not the United of old that was going to go 10-3, but it's still a pretty good football team. I feel like Weslaco really needs to do better. They need to be ready.
Mm-hmm. They're going to have to score more than 3 because United put up 62 points against La Jolla.
Yeah, they did. They got it going. They've got another good quarterback. Theus is his name, and he's just one of a line of 6 or 8 of them they've had out there in the same system. They don't have the All-American receivers they've had in the past, but they're serviceable. I mean, look, that system produces pretty good offense.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll average 40 points a game no matter what.
Now, if you look at it, they stopped Harlingen.
Yeah.
You know, held them to nothing.
133.
Yeah.
3 turnovers. You're talking about Weslaco.
Oh, Weslaco, excuse me. Yeah.
Weslaco stopped Harlingen.
Yeah, and yeah, Harlingen.
Same page here, boy.
But Harlingen had a hard time with them. I mean, they just couldn't move the ball. They had a couple chances, at kicking of their own field goals and just couldn't make it.
You know, Harlingen's had a hard time all year, and I think it's a credit to those kids that they haven't completely cratered because it wasn't right from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
All those injuries and all this funny stuff. They'll be back.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this. 6 wins is the least since 06, and so that ain't going to sit well with that crowd, with that coach, and with those kids. They're going to be angry next year, and so we're not going to talk about it next year, and they're out, but just wait. Yeah. That's what I say, just wait, to be continued.
Yeah, now Weslaco's defense is stout. They've gotten a lot better. At the beginning of the year, I thought their corners were suspect. I thought that their linebackers...
the best one they got at corner.
Yeah, I didn't think their linebackers were playing as well as they could, but now they are.
Last 6 games, they're giving up 10 points a game. Put it this way, against United, you're going to have to score more than 3. You're going to have to score about 33.
Yeah.
So what they need to do is have an old-fashioned Panther game where they rush for 350, hit 1 pass for a big one, and then move on.
Yeah, keep United off the field. If you can ground and pound and keep look, long runs are great for touchdowns, but if they can keep the ball, on the keep the offense on the field, I think they'll be better off than just scoring quickly because I don't think you can score with United.
I doubt it. Maybe a defensive touchdown or 2. Mm-hmm. Put it this way: these are 2 of the region's more or less heavyweights of the recent past. You can always count on Weslaco to win a game or 2 in the playoffs. They're a very successful postseason. So is United.
Yeah.
United has been deep a couple of times, and it's a fun game. It's the classic. It's a boxer versus a puncher, man. This is a great game.
Yeah. But who the winner gets who though?
Judson and O'Connor. I'm thinking even though Judson is not going to win the state title, they'll probably beat O'Connor, and they're probably better than either one of these 2 teams, although not prohibitively.
Yeah.
Say that word 3 times, prohibitively.
Prohibitively. Yeah. All right. Now our next matchup is
Division 2.
It's
Los Fresnos
scary.
And Memorial.
Yeah.
No, not Memorial, Del Rio.
Yeah, my bad.
Chinga, man. I had to do that though, because this is so incredible. We missed out on the Littletons battling each other, so now we get a game we can all root for the team with. Los Fresnos needs to go out and kick Del Rio's butt because they ain't that good. I promise you. How can they be?
Yeah. Now Los Fresnos took Edinburgh North to task. They you know what? They showed that first game of the year was a fluke. Yeah. That they're a better team than what they showed, and they won 42-7.
Yeah, they did. They rushed for about 350. I tell you what, Pierce Ruiz, man, I was just thinking, he's not going to win a weightlifting contest, all right? And I'm not picking on him, I'm just saying. But he sticks it up in there, and he runs the ball hard. He really does. He's almost got 1,000 yards rushing, about 1,200 passing. He's a very serviceable quarterback. And for whoever it was that told me those Fresnos had no speed, I think they were sandbagging. Maybe they just looked fast that night. But I'm telling you, this Moreno, number 20, Azul Barrientos, I knew I was going to get that wrong, but corrected. So all is well. He went 75 yards the first play of the 3rd quarter, and that was it. 28 more points, and North was dead in the water.
Yeah.
Dead in the water.
And if we're talking about a team that can throw the ball, Del Rio did throw the ball against Memorial.
234 yards. They had been inept on offense for the most part most of the year. Hey, you know what it is? a team came up with a big upset against one team that thought they had it made. They just played a great football game and they took it. You know, I mean, they were down 20-12 was Del Rio, and they scored the last 14 points of the game, or 13, or however many. Wait, let's see, 12, and then subtract 34, 22.
22.
Gracious, I went to college. I promise I did.
You know, and here's the thing too. Los Fresnos is going to. It's a different kind of team than Memorial. They don't have a back that's going to, you know, that you have to key on. They have an entire, well, offensive line that's pretty good. Their offensive line is pretty darn good, man.
I ran into Mendez's dad, Jesse Mendez, in the parking lot at halftime. Talked about him. I didn't know that Matt Mendez, remember 90 tall, lanky kid? He's playing up at UTSA.
Really?
And Mendez is looking at there. This is Michael Mendez, huge lineman for Los Fresnos. Another one of that crew. He's looking at maybe going to Purdue.
Yeah.
Because he's good at math, to say the least, and maybe want to be an engineer. Wouldn't that be cool?
Wow.
Yeah, so no, he's a great player. Look, man, that little 10, I think it's Ruiz. They've got some athletes. They've got some players. I like Cage Taylor, man. He looked like one of the Crusaders from the 12th century. He had that little hood on, you know, looking all wild and stuff, man. He was tough. Fabian Rodriguez. That's a pretty good football team. I don't see why they can't kick Del Rio's butt, because they're not going to do that again.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. You can't think that, right? We can think that we know that Del Rio was a fluke.
We're not playing, so we can say whatever we want.
Exactly, and here they are, and that's the opponent. You go to the third round if you beat them, so don't take them lightly. Hell, Memorial did. Look what happened to them.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Who does the winner get, though?
Who does the winner get? Well, not Reagan.
Yeah.
Reagan's going to beat Stevens.
Yeah.
It's going to be a president over a Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Be good. Yeah. Reagan's good, and if it's Reagan in Los Fresnos, what does that remind you of?
Oh, man. It's going to talk about Silva.
That's right. Yeah. We're going back to the Los Fresnos glory days. Now, the Falcons, Clint Finley, I'm impressed with him. I'm also scared to death of him.
Yeah.
He's a tough guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? That's the second year in a row they won a game. Their 8 wins this year is the most since 08. So they can put 9 on there and go to the third round and get some revenge against Reagan. I'll never forget that game. 28-11, closer than that. Spencer Neely for Reagan. I thought, boy, that guy's pretty good. He's making a lot of tackles. He went to A&M and started for 3 years on the defensive line. So that's the kind of talent they had. This year's Reagan team's not as good. We're not even worried about that. I want Los Fresnos to kill Del Rio. I swear I'll send them a telegram if they do it. Do they do those anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's email now.
Strippergram, whatever.
Lord.
I mean, look, I think Los Fresnos should beat Del Rio. Of course, we said that about McAllen Memorial. So who knows? Maybe Del Rio rides that high. So they've got to.
Just play the game.
Yeah, Los Fresnos got to play hard.
If Los Fresnos play as good as they can play, they're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Just remember, though, that Harlingen 2011, the dream season? Del Rio almost knocked them off in the second round. It was 37-34. You remember thinking, oh, they're going to lose to Del Rio. That's the thorn in the valley's side, man. I'm getting tired of hearing about these guys, man. Pinche Borregos, man. We need to put them out once and for all. So that's the 6A picture. Anything else to add before we go take a break? It's getting kind of hot in here. Maybe I'm just full of hot air.
No, that's about it.
Indeed. All right, we will return with the 5As.